Thank you, Mike. Cheers, Vanessa. Lovely programme. Well, today, Thursday, 31st of May, 2018, last day of the month, live till 5. It's the big show. It's Steve Wright in the afternoon. Hello.
Right in the afternoon. Now playing everywhere.
Your foundations. Baby, now that I've found you.
Steve Wright in the afternoon. BBC Radio 2.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
The Big Show.
Hands up for starting your own blog. Why not? It's a good idea. About time you did it. Hands up for no tools left in the van overnight. All right, there's nothing in there. I know, I understand. Hands up if you can't stop buying shoes but can't find them in your size. Could it be because you're a half size? Good point, right? And hands up for exam revision. Exam revision, let's do it. Come on, get on with it.
She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance. I met her on Grafton Street, right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. She asked me, what does it mean? The Gaelic ink on your arm. Said it was one of my friend's songs. Do you want to drink on? She took Jamie as a chaser, Jack for the fun. She got Arthur on the table with Johnny riding a shotgun. Chatted some more, one more drink at the bar, then put Van on the jukebox, got up to dance. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance with my pretty little Galway girl. You're my pretty little Galway girl. Hey. You know she beat me at darts and then she beat me at pool and then then she kissed me like there was nobody else in the room. As last orders were called was when she stood on the stool, after dancing to Kaylee singing to trad tunes. I never heard Carrick Fergus ever sung so sweet. A cappella in the bar using her feet for a beat. Oh, I could have that voice playing on repeat for a week. And in this packed out room where she was singing to me. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little Galway girl. My Galway girl. My Galway girl. My Galway girl. Well, now we've all said our welcome and it's closing time. I was holding her hand was holding mine. Our coats both smell of smoke, whiskey and wine, as we fill up her lungs with the cold air of the night. I walked her home, then she took me inside to finish some Doritos and another bottle of wine. I swear I'm gonna put you in a song that I write about a Galway girl and a perfect night. She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little Galway girl. My Galway girl. My Galway girl. My Galway girl. Hey!
Top of the afternoon to you. You can email us steve.wright@bbc.co.uk, text 88291 and tweet us at BBC Radio 2.
Steve Wright. In the afternoon on BBC Radio 2.
And yes, the weather, sunny spells, but thunderstorms for England and Wales, severe. High of 23 in Manchester. Tonight, thunderstorms continuing over Wales and much of England with a risk of hail, lightning and torrential downpours. More on this soon. Not as warm as recent nights, though, and not as humid tonight. Tomorrow, Friday, another day of sunny spells and thunderstorms, but they will stop for the serious jogging. Sunset tonight, Edinburgh 9:45, in Belfast 9:48, Cardiff 9:19 and London 9:07. Now you're up to date.
Hi, it's me, Jeremy Vine.
Yes.
Don't forget to email Steve at steve.wright@bbc.co.uk. You must text 88291 and you could tweet at BBC Radio 2.
Can't hold out much longer, 'cause red light means more than can't hold out.
some wonderful guests today, and here's a little clue as to one of them. Thank you, Billy. Go on, Zeb.
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130 on Thursday the 31st of May.
It's today.
The general synopsis at 0600. Low Seoul 1011, slow moving, filling 1017 by 0600 tomorrow.
All right.
New low expected Malin 1016
Yeah.
by same time.
Got that.
The area forecasts for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Viking, variable 3 or 4.
That's about
Thundery
like-
showers, then fog patches. Moderate, occasionally very poor.
It's much like this show. Occasionally very poor. That was Zeb Soames from Radio 4. Got him on later. Here, now the Rolling Stones. Gonna miss you.
I've been holding out so long. I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone. I've been sleeping all alone. I won't kiss you.
Arena, Saturday, Coventry. Hey man, we're going to Coventry. Yeah! It is the Stones. Britain's house prices fell 0.2% in May, while annual growth slowed to 2.4%, down from 2.6% in April. Are you following this? According to figures from mortgage lender Nationwide today. And a word about the rain. Torrential rain and severe thunderstorms have been predicted in Wales, or for Wales and the southwest later. The Met Office has issued an amber warning between 1600 BST today, Thursday, and 0600 on Friday tomorrow morning, meaning there's a potential risk to life. It said the flooding of homes is likely and could happen quickly, and transport could be disrupted.
This is Mr. Bennett. If ever Kirsty asked me what I would take to a desert island, It would be my Stormzy downloads.
We marked the start of summer with 4 incredible days of live music.
1, 2, 3, come on.
BBC Music presents
Are you ready to have a good time?
the biggest weekend.
Let's see who's ready to party.
We united the nations in 4 days of incredible live music.
With Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift in Swansea.
Noel Gallagher in Perth. And Liam Gallagher in Coventry.
How is everybody doing? You got a good day?
Plus Manic Street Preachers, Nena Cherry, Franz Ferdinand and more in Belfast.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
The biggest weekend. Available to watch now on BBC iPlayer.
Superb.
BBC Radio 2.
It got us on a mountain top. Was burning like a silver flame. The summit of beauty and love. And Venus was her name. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. Her weapon were crystal eyes, making every man mad. Black as a dark night she was, got what no one else had. Wow, she's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire. Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. wanna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be.
This is me. Oh, I love it. That is still strong. All right, we're going to tell you who's on soon. Great tune, Steve and team driving home from Pickering after survival training course. You and your tunes are keeping me going. Thanks, man. Who are you, though? Doesn't say. Steve, listening to the show whilst on the A64 driving from Shropshire to York to visit my mum. All the best. From Richard Baker. What is it?
Excuse me, does anybody know what's going on?
I'm going to tell you. So Zeb Soames and James Mayhew talking about their children's book Gaspard the Fox. There's Stuart Purvis, writer, broadcaster, and former ITN boss discussing the state of news. And Alex Gregory, Olympic gold medal winning rower, encouraging families to get outdoors with his brand new book, Dad Ventures. There's Tim Smith, Janie Lee Grace, Bobby Pryor, Mike Powell, a Shabnam Yunus Jewel with the sport, and the oldies chosen by Sean Long in Wigan. How's that?
This is Radio 2 Sounds of the 80s.
With Gary Davis.
Every Friday night we'll turn it up and relive all your favourites from this incredible decade.
Girl, you are to me. Oh, we're halfway there.
This is a journey into sound.
I'm on the hunt down after you.
All the classics in one place.
Sounds of the 80s.
With me, Gary Davis.
Keep that frequency clear.
Now push it.
Listen,
great.
this Friday night from 10.
And we are just 26 hours just under away from Serious Jockin' with no G.
Serious Jockin', Serious Jockin'.
That's tomorrow.
Must have been a year since I was thrown across an ocean far from home. Life is making no sense. Riding in between the highs and lows. When I wake in the morning, it's the first on my mind. Jealous of the way that blackbird flies, free among the people. Those 250,000 stories pass me by. Ooh, lie awake in the moonlight. It's the last on my mind. All those faces, where did they go? I imagine what it looks like when I'm not there. I remember every summer, but now the years are just a number. There's no backwards, time is faster with everything It wasn't made of steel and stone. And baby, what I miss most, it wasn't born of skin and bone. 'Cause under the sun, above the waves, under three crowns when I'm far away, maybe what I miss most, and maybe you'll never know. Maybe you'll never know. And maybe you'll never know.
Remember we sat in the cold, no money in Montreal. Underneath that waterfall, nobody else ever saw. I packed up everything except those memories that only I can see and can't get rid of. I still remember the first, your body hit every nerve. Used to wake up in my shirt, that's the one I had to burn. Trying not to stare, but you are everywhere. You're everywhere that I've ever known. You feel like Brooklyn in the summer. Been hiding, half awake for so long. And it's the subtlety that only you ever seen, bringing the mess of me back together. You feel like Brooklyn in the summer. Been stumbling, half awake for so long. Gotta forget that feeling, giving it something real. I've gotta let you go. Gotta let you go. This morning I walked to the train, just like you did every day. Everyone else is the same, I wonder if you're the same. And do you lay your head in someone else's bed to help you bury it, just like you always did? And now you're in all of my words, only way I can return. Memories fade in reverse, but you will always be heard. Wherever I can sing, you'll be right there with me. In ghosts and melodies that only I can see. You feel like Brooklyn in the summer. Been hiding, half awake for so long. And it's the subtlety that only you ever seen, bringing the mess of me back together. You feel like Brooklyn in the summer. Been stumbling, half awake for so long. Gotta forget that feeling, giving it something real. I've gotta let you go.
It's a Lower Black, Brooklyn in the summer. You can email us, steve.wright@bbc.co.uk for a shout out. Or you can text 88291 and tweet us at BBC Radio 2. Hey Steve, husband and I are busy packing house as we're moving to Cornwall next week. Parents on the M6 driving to help us. Cheers from Hannah. Steve, good show as usual. Can you play anything for me? I'm decorating the hall and stairs. Been at it since 6 this morning. Have fun. That's Janet B. Bromsgrove.
You feel like Brooklyn in
Today we're bringing on Janie Lee Grace and Tim Smith, and let's take a look at the factoids. What you got, Janie?
Olives are fruits.
Olive. Here's Tim.
Do you know what phantom vibration syndrome is?
No, it sounds fascinating.
It's where you think you're shaking, but you're not.
Well, it's not where you think you're shaking. It's where you think your phone isn't shaking or vibrating, but it is.
Oh, no.
Your phone?
Oh, no, I've got that round the wrong way. It's when you think your phone is vibrating, but it isn't.
But it isn't.
Yes.
You see, that's just being addicted to your phone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's clear now, though, I think. According to a study, the most hated word in the English language is hate. Number 2 is moist. Now, here's Janie.
Thomas Jefferson was the first president to shake hands as a greeting. Before that, they bowed.
Oh, really?
You know a giant tortoise?
Yeah, I love giant tortoise.
They can grow up to 5 feet in length and weigh over 500 pounds. That is a big old tortoise.
Have you ever seen a really massive one?
No.
I saw one in Turkey once. It is quite incredible. It's hard to believe it's real. You think it's some kind of sculpture. Because, of course, they don't move very fast.
No, great taking your house around with you.
Factoids.
It was 9:29.
stay. Last train to London, just heading out. Last train to London, just leaving town. But I really want tonight to last forever. I really want to be with you. Let the music play on down the line tonight. It was one of those nights when you feel the fire is burning. Everybody was there, everybody to share. It was so right. And you were on your own, looking like you were the only one around. I had to be with you, nothing else that I could do. I should have been away, but I knew I had to stay. Last train to London, just heading out. Last train to London, just leaving town. But I really want tonight to last forever. I really want to be with you. Let the music play on down the line tonight. Underneath the starry sky, I was still, but eyes must really have rushed by. I didn't realize, but love was in your eyes. I really should have gone, but love went on and on. Last train to London, just heading out. Last train to London, just leaving town. But I really want tonight to last forever. I really want to be with you. Let the music play on down the line tonight. But I really want tonight to last forever. I really want to be with you.
Now, a little later on, Zeb Soanes and James Mayhew talking about their children's book. It's called Gaspard the Fox. Zeb Soanes, you'll know from Radio 4, he's the guy that goes, "This is Radio 4. Coming up, the shipping forecast at 12, and all of that stuff.
He's got a fantastic voice, actually, hasn't he?
It's so comforting, and he's such a good broadcaster. And he was kind enough a few months back to do "And Our Serious Jocking."
I like a formal announcement of Serious Jocking No G, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And he's coming in with James Mayhew about this book that they've done about a fox that was apparently wandering around his house, and they've written all about it. Stuart Purvis also, writer and broadcaster and former ITN boss, talking about the state of news. And Alex Gregory, Olympic gold medal winning rower, encouraging families to get outdoors with his book Dad Ventures, for dads and sons and daughters alike. Now, here is Janie.
Hot weather makes exams tougher, they say, which is not surprising, I suppose. It says it harms children's chances of doing well in exams unless classrooms are air-conditioned. They've actually studied this and found that each 0.5 degree increase above 70 Fahrenheit causes a 1% reduction in the performance. The impact of the results accelerated when temperatures rose above 89. Well, that's not surprising, is it? I've always wondered why it is, because they do exams, which are so stressful anyway, at a time when the weather's hot and a lot of people have got hay fever. There are outside factors that make it really difficult. I mean, I can't function in the heat. I hate it.
Well, that's why, not that anyone's really interested in us, but we have this studio, the air conditioning's set at 19 degrees.
I know, and I'm so grateful.
Because, I'll tell you for why, because when superstars come in here, and Tim Smith, we don't want them all flustered and hot.
No,
and
sweating
not
everywhere. No.
Yeah, it works for us anyway.
Because you don't like me when I'm flustered and hot, do you?
Not at all. It's European Maritime Day today. The Ideal Home Show in Scotland is on. That's in Glasgow. The Association of Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialists are holding their European conference in Amsterdam. It's the Diamond League Athletics meeting in Rome. The US Women's Open Championship begins at Shoal Creek in Alabama. Paddington at St. Paul's, the last Paddington book written by Michael Bond before his death last year, just published today. This also is the 60th year of the first book, A Bear Called Paddington, being published in 1958. The Shires play York, Gary Barlow in Southend, Bill Bailey plays Aylesbury, and happy birthday Colin Farrell.
What really drives me is nothing particular. It depends on the film. I read this and I hadn't done an action film, Total Recall, in 7 or 8 years, and I thought, you know what, I've done a lot of dramas back to back and a couple of comedies. I'm okay going to work now and having a bit of fun, running around and doing a physical action film for 5 months.
And what about Hollywood? Are they making good movies at the moment, or is there no period where you think, okay, they're making good movies?
They always make good movies and they always make bad movies. You just gotta weed out the ones that speak to your particular taste.
Yeah, we like Colin a lot. The rent-to-own sector faces a price cap similar to limits on payday loans, but the financial regulator will not rush to impose the same restrictions on overdrafts. You may have heard that earlier on in the news. What else is going on today? I don't know if you saw BGT last night. I particularly enjoyed, oh my goodness, I love the insulting comedian.
He sailed a bit close to the mark, didn't he, at times?
Yeah, he really did. He was great. And then also, I quite like the Welsh opera singer as well.
Oh, he's fantastic, yeah, but I'm really sad, the bloke that takes his clothes off and then, puts bits of food on himself and whips away mini tablecloths, he didn't get through to the final.
It's a shame this is not telly, because you're doing the actions.
Yeah.
Well, I am clothed, though.
Yes.
Good though he was, entertaining though he was, as several of the panel said, I can't see him getting, say, his own TV series doing that.
Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. You'll be a nudist now. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, although I was confused when he was putting hula hoops on his nipples. I'm not sure that's safe to do that all the time.
It's Janie.
Youngsters are still being bombarded with junk food advertisements despite a ban on such commercials during children's programmes. Adverts for products high in fat, salt or sugar are still seen in other shows before the 9pm watershed, and they're widely viewed by children. Half of television food and drink adverts seen by children are for these unhealthy items or for what they call fast food restaurants. This is according to research by the Institute for Fiscal Studies.
Well, I'm wondering how good for you a barbecue is. So let's say you've got sausages, you've got chicken, and you're having a little bread with that once in a while, maybe some steak or maybe some other meats of some kind, and then you've got maybe some chips to go with that.
Well, in terms of the way it's cooked, I mean, you might not eat meat, obviously, but whether it's vegetables or meat, the way it's cooked on a barbecue generally is pretty good for you because you're not frying it, are you?
Well, it is, but then there is a school of thought, of course, that says that barbecuing gives off more acrylamides in food, so they reckon that you should marinate the food first. That makes a difference, apparently.
Do you know, I think the acrylamides were the baddest in Doctor Who. They were the nastiest monsters of all.
But you quite like eating them off a barbecue, don't you?
But anyway, yes.
I think it's the acrylamides.
How'd you have your acrylamides? Well done, sir, please.
Stop taking the mick. I've probably even got the word wrong, but you know what I'm saying, the smokiness. But it's not a tremendously bad diet if you only have it occasionally. But if you're going to have it all the time, I mean, clearly you've got no dark green leafy veg in there, have you?
No, that's true, unless you put it in with it.
But I mean, a lot of that meat is going to be processed as well, so you're not going to want to do it too often.
Well, we've got, I think he's called DJ Barbecue.
He is, yeah.
He's going to be on with us in the next few days.
He knows how to barbecue.
Yeah. You're on the big show, look.
I'm gone in a flick, but back in a second. Distorted skin, rash for no reason. Boys are loading their arms, girl gasp with envy. And they mimicking endlessly. Same as sadness in small lumps on my jaw. For lusting after is the usual friction. May your girl come, birdie die under the spur. Fingers and listen, come touch your girl then girlfriend. Don't feel like a girlfriend, but lover. Damn it, be your lover. Girlfriend. Don't feel like a girlfriend, but lover. Damn it, be your lover. Yeah. Yes, alright, I'm wait for I happened and my fame in the lake. Let's see now how fast you're breathing in, how long this will take. Cause you used to pass by me, feel there, baffling a liar. What is you? You didn't even taste much better. Came back still
steaming in sweats in the morning. I'm hustling for I wanted to hold him. Then travel to let those bird dogs rage through. What is me? What is you? What is you now? Girlfriend, don't feel like a girlfriend, but lover, damn it, be your lover.
Girlfriend, Christine and the Queens. We like that very much. Now, what else we got here? On way to the airport with bride-to-be Claire Moore, soon-to-be Mrs. Coles, wishing her a happy hen party. Love, Dorothy, mother of the groom, and Jenny, maid of honour. And then let's have a look. Steve, Sean here. All right, Sean, can you give my mate, Mark Cooper, a big shout-out, as I think he's fallen to sleep? He's upstairs and I'm downstairs painting a big barn conversion. Cheers, pal. You shouldn't be falling asleep. Here's Bobby.
Steve, thank you. First of all, the M8, if you're eastbound at Glasgow, there was a broken down car at 16 for Craighall. That has cleared out of the way. The M60 clockwise. Now, we had this broken down car, 13 to 14, still being recovered. You've got one lane shut still with that. The A64 westbound at Barton-the-Willows, east of York, still blocked with the accident between Steelmore Lane and Scotchmore Lane. So the A64 westbound, not officially closed, but completely blocked. A59 at Bolton Bridge. Now, this is at the Bolton Abbey roundabout. There's a problem with the bridge, so they've closed it for safety. So if you're heading through there, just be aware there's a diversion via Ilkley or Otley. So the A59 at Bolton Bridge closed completely both ways. A15 at Waddingham is closed completely. There's an accident between the two B1205 turns. That's towards the Curtin Road. So still shut following that earlier accident. The latest on the M6 on the southbound side, we've got between 20 and 19 down to Knutsford. Now I'm trying to find out just exactly where it is, but there's a breakdown. There is one lane shut if you're heading through there at the moment on that southbound side. It's slower northbound though, funny enough. If you're heading up from 18 up towards 19, you've got big queues, but all lanes are open on that northbound side. M1 southbound 18, we've got a broken down vehicle from Rugby to Coventry. One lane is shut. M1 southbound a little bit further down, 12 to 11A to Dunstable and the A5. They are holding all the traffic, and this is because of an accident. This was just happening as I came in, so hopefully traffic will be on the move, but that hadn't happened yet. And the M4 on the westbound side between 7 Slough West and 8-9 for Maidenhead, we've got a vehicle fire and one lane is shut. Back with another one in 40 minutes.
Cheers, Bobby.
She ain't got no money, her clothes are kind of funny, her hair is kind of wild and free. Oh, boy, love flows where my rosemary goes, and nobody knows like me. She
we've got more news of the day now. Nick Grimshaw is stepping down from the Radio 1 Breakfast Show and will be replaced by Greg James. The presenter is ending his nearly 6-year stint on the show and will move to Greg's 4 to 7 p.m. slot on the station. That's Radio 1. Grimmy said he'd had the time of his life, but has decided it's time for a change and a new show. So, in other words, they're just swapping around.
Yeah. Well, 6 years on a breakfast show, gets tough, doesn't it?
Land Rover Defenders are increasingly being targeted by criminals. It's a Defender. I mean, I don't mean people that defend Land Rovers.
It's a type of car,
It's a type of car. Are being targeted by criminals, according to James Salmon earlier on in the Mail, as part of a countryside crime wave, according to an insurer. Farmers and country homeowners have been urged to ramp up security measures to protect their Defenders and luxury 4x4s against organised gangs who often hack into their keyless systems. Channel 4 reveals cities for new HQ. Channel 4 could be moving, in part, to West Midlands, Glasgow, Cardiff, Bristol. That's the towns and cities that are on the short list. What else is going on? What you got there, Janie?
Anyone who hopes that taking regular exercise can compensate for being overweight needs to think again. For women, they say, there's no such thing as being fat and fit. Even if you're free from high blood pressure, high cholesterol or type 2 diabetes, you're still far more likely to have a heart attack or stroke if you're overweight. So the fat but fit theory suggests that those who are obese, have extra weight, it's not harmful if other metabolic factors such as blood pressure and blood sugar are okay. But German researchers now say that those who are obese but metabolically healthy still have more than a 50% greater risk of having a heart attack.
It's just as well to be exercising and look after yourself, even if you have lower blood pressure, even if you're not overweight, even if you're not obese.
Because it's always going to do you some good, isn't it?
Well, that's not what they're saying. They're saying if you think you can exercise to sort it out, you can't.
Right.
There's obviously saying that as well.
What do they know?
People dislike complainers. This is from bestoflifeonline.com. This is for you, Tim. So before complaining to somebody else, call yourself and detail your gripes in a voicemail message. Okay, so you're going to complain about something. What you do, you call yourself.
Oh, that's good preparation.
Then you wait an hour and listen to yourself. Chances are you'll sound more petty than serious, and you'll be happy that you kept your temporary negativity to yourself. All right, Tim?
So I'm having a meal, and there's something wrong with the meal. It's cold, it's not delivered on time.
Call up yourself.
What, and sit there for an hour, then play back the message, and then decide whether to complain. Crikey, my meal would have gone cold by then.
That's a very good
I
point.
think it totally depends on the response you get. We once had a situation in a restaurant where I took the kids out, and as a general rule, I don't kick off in restaurants. I tend to just leave it. I just don't go back. I very, very rarely kick off. But in this particular restaurant, everything was terrible. I mean, it was beyond terrible, and none of us could really eat any of it. So I just really politely said, well, actually, no, we can't eat this soup at all. It's not what it said it was on the menu. So I said it really politely, but I was really clear. And then when we went to pay, they actually made some slightly negative comment about, oh, you obviously weren't happy with it, but we're a restaurant that satisfies customers, we have been for years. Words to the effect of they were being tricky back. So I just went off and detailed everything. To this day, Rocky remembers it. One of his favourite moments.
Day the mum went off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens rarely. I never ever complain in restaurants, I have to say. I normally get pretty good service. But, of course, you can always give them a good review or a bad review online. And now, people are really, of course, taking notice of those reviews big time. So, the power is in your hands.
It's true.
In your keyboard. Alex Gregory with us later, Olympic gold medalist. He's a rower, actually. Stuart Purvis, writer and broadcaster. And Zeb Sohn, some Radio 4. And James Mayhew, illustrator.
Advertising imaginative ways. Start your free trial today. Come on in the water's lovely look. You could meet someone you like. You're in the meat of your strike. It is that easy. Lunar surface on a Saturday night. Dressed up in silver and white with colored old grey whistle test lights. Take it easy for a little while. Come and stay with us. It's such an easy flight. Cute new places keep on popping up since the Exodus. It's all getting gentrified. I put a taqueria on the roof. It was well reviewed. 4 stars out of 5. And that's unheard of. Starlight Express, the head of special effects in my mind's eye. Okey cokey with the opposite sex, the things you try to forget. Doesn't time fly? I'm in no position to give advice. I don't wanna be nice, and you know that. Take it easy for a little while. Come and stay with us. It's such an easy flight. Cute new places keep on popping up around Clavius. It's all getting gentrified. The information action ratio is the place to go, and you will not recognize the old headquarters of the nights that never happened and the days that don't exist. At the information action ratio, only time that we stop laughing is to breathe or steal a kiss. I can get you on the list for all the clubs. I can lift you up another semitone. Take it easy for a little while. Come and stay with us. It's such an easy flight. Cute new places keep on popping up. Since the Exodus, it's all getting gentrified.
Now, we really do love this. This is Arctic Monkeys, 4 out of 5. That is out there.
4 stars out of 5.
If you want to make contact with this show, you can email steve.wright@bbc.co.uk, text 88291, and tweet us at BBC Radio 2. When we come back, the non-stop oldies chosen by Sean Long in Wigan.
News at 3 o'clock. This is Mike Powell. Within the past half hour, the United States has confirmed that it's pressing ahead with its threat to impose tariffs on aluminium and steel imports from the European Union, Canada and Mexico. They'll come into force at midnight. Members of the EU had argued that the tariffs were incompatible with rules which were laid down by the World Trade Organization. President Trump says talks with North Korea in New York have been very positive, and he's expecting a letter from the leader Kim Jong-un tomorrow. Discussions are taking place around the world to finalise plans for an historic summit. Mr. Trump has been speaking to reporters at Andrews Air Force Base outside Washington.
We're doing very well with North Korea. Our Secretary of State has had very good meetings. He's meeting again today. I believe they'll be coming down to Washington on Friday. A letter is going to be delivered to me from Kim Jong-un, so I look forward to seeing what's in the letter. So they'll be probably coming down to Washington, D.C. on Friday for the delivery of a letter. I look forward to that.
Chelsea Football Club has halted £1 billion plans to redevelop its Stamford Bridge Stadium. The club's owner, Roman Abramovich, made the decision after problems with getting his British visa renewed. Consumer groups have welcomed moves by the financial watchdog to curb excessive credit interest charges, but say they should go further. The Financial Conduct Authority wants to cap the repayments demanded by firms that provide services such as doorstep loans and electrical appliances on credit. The Labour MP, Stella Creasy, campaigns on the issue of high-interest loans.
Millions of people in this country just struggling with the fact there's too much month at the end of their money, and
I feel like the Financial Conduct Authority is taking a bit of what I call the whack-a-mole approach. So they're looking at individual products rather than learning the lessons of the payday loan industry, which is that these companies evolve, and they evolve to evade the kind of regulation, so that we would have a very simple rule in this country that nobody would ever end up paying back more than double what they borrowed.
The Chief Inspector of Prisons has requested urgent action from the Justice Secretary to address concerns about safety at Exeter Jail. Peter Clark said conditions at the prison were unequivocally poor. Here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Leila Nathu.
In his letter to David Gawke, Peter Clark says incidents of self-harm at HMP Exeter have increased by 40% since 2016. The number of assaults against both prisoners and staff, he says, are among the highest seen across the prison estate. And almost a quarter of inmates are testing positive for illegal drugs. This is just the second time that a new process for directly alerting the Secretary of State to pressing safety issues at prisons has been triggered. The first was in January and concerned HMP Nottingham. The Justice Secretary now has 28 days to formulate a plan for urgent improvements.
And the script for the Two Ronnies Four Candles sketch is being put up for sale. The sketch, handwritten in red ink by Ronnie Barker under his pseudonym Gerald Wiley, was rediscovered by the Antiques Roadshow in 2006. It will be auctioned off in Bristol tomorrow and is expected to sell for up to £40,000. BBC News at 3:03. Our next at 4.
Thank you, we know it by heart. Here come the oldies.
Now, the non-stop oldies, brought to you daily by Steve Wright in the afternoon.
No idea who produced this. You think they might leave some kind of production signature? Is it? Donna Summer this time. I know it's for real on the non-stop oldies, as chosen by Sean Long in Wigan. too young to remember that, but it was The Love Affair and Rainbow Valley. 3:10, these oldies chosen by Sean Long. Sean Long in Wigan. I'm a 41-year-old HGV driver from Wigan. Fantastic wife Tracy, this is Sean Young, and 3 children, Owen who's 23, Daniel, I think it might be Danielle who's 22, and Reese who's 21. I'm a rare breed in my hometown because I follow both Wigan Rugby and Wigan Athletic. In my spare time, which is not very much with the driving and all that, I like to travel. I've been to America a few times, seeing New York, Philadelphia and Florida, and also all around the British Isles. I could sit here all day and waffle on about travelling, but I have some tunes for you to spin in your wheels of steel. So hat back with shades on and crank up those bad boys. You got it. Thank you, Sean. You got a badge coming and your music playing. Here's Andy Kim. See if he can sound like Neil Diamond.
Ain't it good, ain't it right that you are with me here tonight? Music playing, our bodies swaying in time. Touching you, so warm and tender. Lord, I feel such a sweet surrender. Beautiful is the dream that makes you mine. Rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? Baby, baby, rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? Oh my darling, oh my baby, you got the moves that drive me crazy. And on your face, I see a trace of love. Come hold me close, don't let me go. I need you, honey, I love you so. You were made for me by the stars above. Rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? And baby, baby, rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? Gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? Ain't it good, ain't it right that you are with me here tonight? Rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy. Don't you know that I have never been loved like this before? And baby,
goodness. Massive Attack. Unfinished Symphony. It is Sympathy, of course. And this is over 25 years old. And it just sounds just awesome. We're loving it. Thank you very much, Sean Long, in Wigan, for picking that oldie. And this is peculiar because it's a little bit like there's been somebody else picking them as well. So that is followed by this.
Drifting, searching, shifting from town to town. Every time I slip and slide a little further down. I can't blame you if you won't take me back. After everything I put you through. But honey, you're my last hope. And who else can I turn to? Silver lady, take my word. I won't run out on you again. Believe me. Oh, I've seen the light. It's just one long night without you. Here I am, a million miles from home. The Indiana wind and rain cut through me. I'm lost and alone, chilled to the bone. Double talkers, backstreet walkers at every turn. Seedy motels and no-star hotels. Still I had to learn that the one shining thing in my mind was the sweet love I had with you. And honey, you're my last hope. And who else can I turn to? Come on, silver lady, take my word. I won't run out on you again. Believe me. Oh, I've seen the light. It's just one long night without you. Here I am, a million miles from home. The Indiana wind and rain cut through me. I'm lost and alone, chilled to the bone. Silver lady.
Silver Lady, David Soul. On the big show in the afternoon. These are the non-stop oldies. Sunny spells but thunderstorms for England and Wales, a high of 23 in Manchester. Tonight, thunderstorms continuing over Wales and much of England with the risk of hail, lightning and torrential downpours, not as warm as recent nights. And then tomorrow, another day of sunny spells and thunderstorms tomorrow. Joe Wiley and Simon Mayo at 5 o'clock. Comedian Ross Noble with Joe and Simon to talk about his new tour. Plus they chat to Blur and Gorillaz frontman Damon Albarn. And then it's Bob Harris. Bob at 8. Brother B's personal selection of the best country songs of the week with new music from Carrie Underwood and Darius Rucker alongside classics from Willie Nelson and Florida Georgia Line. And now back to the oldies. Chosen by Sean Long in Wigan. And this is Crowded House.
Walking round the room singing stormy weather at 57 Mount Pleasant Street. Well, it's the same room, but everything's different. You can fight the sleep, but not the dream. Things ain't cooking in my kitchen. Strange affliction wash over me. Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire
Everywhere you go, take the weather with you. I'm already doing that. Crowded House. On the non-stop oldies, as chosen by Sean Long in Wigan. We're really enjoying these. Everywhere you go. And we're just packing up your little badge for you to wear with pride. Have we got a couple to go yet? That was a lovely key change. That was brilliant. Moments from now, we'll talk to Stuart Purvis, writer, broadcaster and former ITN boss, discussing the state of news and the news of the day. Zeb Soane's with us later, and also James Mayhew and Alex Gregory, Olympic gold medal winning rower. All that and more on The Big Show.
For the wings of a dove. Whoa, whoa. For the wings of a dove. Whoa, whoa. For the wings of a dove. Look up by the rooftops when you're walking round. Don't think for a moment of looking down. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the wings of a dove. Whoa, whoa.
absolutely adored those. Thank you very much for them. 3:31 in the UK. This is the big show. It's Steve Wright in the afternoon, rounding off with Madness, Wings of a Dove on the oldies. Well, in the news, the US is to impose tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from the European Union, Mexico and Canada. The 25% tariffs on steel and 10% tariffs on aluminium will begin within the next day. The Treasury's failure to appoint a woman to the Bank of England's rate-setting committee is truly staggering, according to the chair of the Business Committee today. And food delivery drones have been given the go-ahead in China. Food delivery service Alimi, owned by Alibaba, has been given permission by the authorities to deliver takeaways by drone along 17 routes in Shanghai's Jinshan Industrial Park. Well,
New to 2.
Dave chooses the track. Actually, splendid typo. He wants to have Withering Heights.
Your tips for popping the question. Jimbo says, I proposed underneath the Eiffel Tower and at Niagara Falls, but no. And then she said yes on the North Circular on a Sunday morning. You obviously wore her down.
Joe Wiley and Simon Mayo.
Take it to the credit limit is today's confession. And then there's the phrase, and then Dad was summoned to court.
Oh!
Joe Wiley and Simon Mayo.
3 hours of incredible entertainment, live sessions, and all the big names from music, film, TV, and more.
Weekdays from 5 on BBC Radio 2.
thank you very much, Steve, Deb and Tony on way to Whitstable to pick up grandkids as we're getting ready to move to Cambodia. Steve, we're listening to your little show on our way to Gatwick. Very excited to be visiting our son and daughter-in-law in Norway, who we haven't seen since Easter 2017. Happy times. Steve, you've got to give a shout out to my other half, Glenn, who's currently driving us to Suffolk to the Lake District, or from Suffolk to the Lake District, for the second half of our camper van holiday adventures. Nearly there, only 60 minutes to go. Thank you from Sarah. Good tune, Steve. Sweltering whilst changing the sheets and waiting for the storm in Bristol, but the music's keeping me going. And Steve, can I have a shout out for my husband, Andrew Whelan, who's masterfully driving us from Skye home to Whitby. We've had an amazing holiday in our new motorhome. Please tell him I love him very much. That's from Lucy. And here is Bobby. What you got?
Thank you, Steve. First of all, to the M8 at Arkleston. Junction 28A, we've got 2 lanes shut. So if you're heading through there, just be aware. Towards 27, it is very, very slow. 28A is the back of the queue. M53 northbound. Now, they've moved the accident between 5 and 4, Eastham to Birmingham. But we've still got 1 lane shut for barrier repairs, and they're likely to stay in through the rush. So it's going to be a slow one tonight. M6 southbound, the breakdown 19 for Knutsford is gone, but it's still congested back to 20, the limb interchange in the roadworks. M6 southbound, now the exit Slit Road at 2 for the M69. We've got really heavy traffic because of a breakdown. You can still get on to the A46 though and the motorway. The M6 at junction 6, Spaghetti Junction on the entry Slit Road. A lorry overturned on the western side of the roundabout. Now they're in the process of recovering it. Just be aware that the entry Slit Road is open there. You can get on, but there is a lane closed, so it's a little bit slow. A64 westbound at Barton and Willows, east of York, still blocked with the accident between Steelmore Lane and Scotchman Lane, and the A15 at Waddingham. This is still shut as well. Accident between the 2 B1205 turns. So if you're heading towards the Curtain Road, I'm afraid it's a diversion. And then to the M1. Now, southbound, there was a breakdown at 18 to 17 to the M45. That's gone. Further down on the southbound side, accident between 12 and 11A. They're holding the traffic on the southbound side. Hopefully they should move it off onto the hard shoulder fairly soon. However, on the northbound side, if you're queuing up from the M25, Swedish Blue's just driven up there, and it's stop-start all the way from 6A up towards 12. Very busy. Couldn't find any breakdowns. I think it's because the southbound problem. M25 clockwise 12 to 13. There's an accident there between the M3 and Staines. 2 lanes are shut. And anti-clockwise 10 to 9. There was debris on the carriageway towards Leatherhead. Although they've reopened all the lanes there, it's very heavy. And finally, the M4 westbound 7 to 8-9 Maidenhead. There was a vehicle fire which closed a lane on the westbound M4. All lanes now open. Back with another one in 25 minutes.
You got a few numbers there.
Hi, this is Jeremy Vine, loving the show. Steve.
Thank you.
Here's a quick question. Can you fix the gears on my bike? Now, the tyres need some hot air. Do you think Tim Smith might blow on them? Just a quick might do it. Make contact, please, at Jeremy Vine wearing a coal miner's Davy lamp. Buy me some squid. You can play stjealoushalfwit.org at 1804. That's 6 minutes past 4. Crabs, prawns and lobsters /dualipa.co.uk.
They sing for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. We can't make any promises now, can we, babe? But you can make me dream. bar on the east side, where you at? Phone lights at my nightstand in the black. Come here, you can meet me in the back. Dark jeans and your Nikes, look at you. Oh damn, never seen that color blue. Just think of the fun things we could do. Cause I like it. This ain't for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. Yeah, I want you. We can't make any promises now, can we, babe? But you can make me dream. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it chill that you're in my head? Cause I know that it's delicate. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it too soon to do this yet? Cause I know that it's delicate. Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it? Isn't it delicate? Third floor on the west side, me and you. Handsome, near a mansion with a view. Do the girls back home touch you like I do? Long night, keep your hands up in my hair. Echoes of your footsteps on the stairs. Stay here, honey, I don't wanna share. Cause I like it. This ain't for the best. My reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. Yeah, I want you. We can't make any promises now, can we, babe? But you can make me dream. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it chill that you're in my head? Cause I know that it's delicate. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it too soon to do this yet? Cause I know that it's delicate. Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it, isn't it, isn't it? Isn't it delicate? Sometimes I wonder when you sleep, are you ever dreaming of me? Sometimes when I look into your eyes, I pretend you're mine all the damn time. Cause I like. Is it cool that I said all that?
Now, Stuart Purvis, CBE, is a broadcaster, academic and writer. He's a former editor-in-chief and chief executive of ITN, Independent Television News, president of Euronews, and Ofcom partner for Content and Standards. You'll have seen and heard Stuart talking about media matters on Radio 4, Sky News, BBC News, LBC. And over the years, Stuart has visited every country in Europe. Just last night, he flew back from a place called, you're going to have to help me out on this, Stuart.
Abkhazia.
Yes, I was going to say that. A disputed territory on the eastern coast of the Black Sea in northwestern Georgia, which the Russians have controlled since a little-noticed war in 1992. So let's big you up. Very nice to see you, and thank you for coming in. So, what were you doing there?
I was, as you say, a boss of a news organisation, quite a big one, for many years, and I sent people all around the world. Occasionally I would go myself. When I stopped being the boss, I thought, actually, I'd quite like to go to those places I send people to. So Abkhazia, 25 years ago, there was a war there. An ITN crew went there, got some fantastic footage. No one knew at the time what the footage was really all about, but the fact that it was exciting footage, I thought I'd quite like to go there, so that's where I've just been.
Wow. All right, now you ran a TV station in the Ukraine.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Okay, well, we won't go into the experience if it's all right with you, because obviously I want to move on to the story of the week, really.
Yeah.
It's the he's not dead story. Yeah. My goodness. This is Arkady Bachenko, the Russian journalist whose murder was dramatically announced by Ukraine on Tuesday, and it emerged yesterday that he was in fact still alive and that he'd faked his own death in order to thwart a genuine plot by Moscow to kill him. So this is legitimized fake news. What is going on?
Well, it's a sad day, really, because what it does, as you say, it makes governments almost look respectable when they fake the news. Now, actually, the Ukrainian government have still not come up with an explanation of why they needed to come up with this stunt in order to prove that the Russians were going to kill this guy. If they had the evidence, they should simply gone and arrest him.
Yeah.
So frankly, it looks like they did it to draw attention to themselves, to draw attention to their battle with the Russians on so many issues. And in this sense, they've devalued truth, they've devalued their own reputation, and probably they've put journalists' lives at risk. Who's to trust a journalist any longer if you're part of a state-organised propaganda stunt?
Yeah, so those are the implications for journalism, aren't they?
They are, yeah. BBC reporters particularly do not take sides, and he has sort of taken sides, really.
And they've played into Russia's hands as well, in a sense.
Yeah, the Russians probably just can't believe their luck that a government for which they are so opposed would themselves organise a piece of fake news. And of course it throws doubt about the British version of the Salisbury incident. Everywhere I went in Eastern Europe last week, people were saying, what was that really all about? Now they'll be saying, maybe that was a fake.
How much pressure is there on journalists to actually check the stuff that comes up on social media first? Because, of course, at one time, that would have been secondary, but now it's often first. I've noticed recently something going on in my area where I saw it online and immediately it was in the local paper. And I thought to myself, I wonder whether those journalists checked it out and to what extent.
Now, I used to teach young journalists, and I found out that the first jobs they normally got in journalism after they left was rewriting stories off the internet. Yeah. They never actually checked them. Occasionally they would make one phone call, but they were expected to write, say, 5 stories in a morning without leaving the office, probably without even making a phone call. So you're absolutely right. It's a major problem, and it's probably getting worse because the other bit is actually fake videos and fake pictures. I mean, the BBC, they have a unit here which is, does that really come from Ukraine, etc.? But look, they were fooled, weren't they? I mean, everyone was fooled because it appeared to be a reasonable government was saying something. So almost like the governments have become social media players as well now.
Why in America are television news outlets have a political alliance, and yet in Great Britain and some parts of the rest of the world they don't have that alliance?
There's basically a law of the land in Britain that says that, and in America there used to be one and they abolished it. I mean, they see it as kind of freedom of the press applies to TV and radio. I watch a lot of these American channels and it's quite clear whose side they're on.
It's not the same rule for newspapers here. I mean, if you buy The Guardian, I think you know where you're at with The Guardian. If you buy The Telegraph, you know where you're at.
Yeah. Well, look, you said I mentioned Ofcom, which is a regulator. The big problem with Ofcom is we've got highly regulated broadcasting, all these rules. We've got newspapers which are sort of regulated by themselves. And in the middle, you've got this kind of wild west of the internet where there's absolutely no regulation at all. And, for instance, people would say, look, why isn't there a Guardian TV channel? Why isn't there a Telegraph TV channel? And the answer is we don't do that in Britain. But in America, they have lots of things. I think the biggest problem is what would you do at election time? If you were watching a TV channel that said vote this way or vote that way, I think most people in Britain would not want that. But it does seem at the time a bit odd that we limit so severely the people who can do anything on the internet, can do anything in newspapers, but they can't do it on television or radio.
We're here with Stuart Purvis, CBE. We'll be right back in just a moment. Don't go away. We're talking about the state of the UK's media and the day's news.
I never meant to leave you hurting. I never meant to do the worst thing. Not to you. 'Cause every time I read your message, I wish I wasn't one of your exes. No, I'm the fool. Since you've been gone, been dancing on my own. These boys up in my zone, but they can't turn me on. 'Cause baby, you're the only one I'm coming for. I can't take no more, no more, no more. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Cry, 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 but I like to party. Touch, 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 but I got nobody here on my own. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Cry, 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 since the day we parted. Touch, 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 but I got nobody, so I do it so low. Every single night I lose it. I can't even hear the music without you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to stop myself
Stuart Purvis, CBE, is back with us, and we're talking about the media here. Online versus print. How long have newspapers got?
People thought that when they put in their most latest printing presses, those would be the last printing presses. Now, how long does a printing press last? Is it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? I kind of think print has got a bit longer than most people think. I'll tell you for why. Saturday newspapers. I don't know about you, but I don't buy a newspaper on a weekday now, but I'd always buy one on a Saturday and sometimes on a Sunday. So something about opening the paper up, having it in your hand, looking at the colour pictures and the magazines, that still for me works better when I've got time than looking at online. So I think there is some form of life left in newspapers for quite a long time yet.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I love my newspapers. I can read the Evening Standard online, but I'd rather have it in my hand.
Hang on, guys. We're of a generation that grew up with newspapers, and it is a generational thing, isn't it? And that is definitely changing.
I completely agree, but I do think if you said, look, there's been this amazing discovery, there's a product which you can take anywhere you like, you can read it on the tube, you can read it on the loo, it's wonderfully flexible, and you can tear it up and throw it away afterwards. You say, that sounds quite a good thing. So it's called paper. So maybe it's got life.
All right, now what about young people? Because young people, I have a son who's 30 now, and my daughter is 23. They've never, both of them, heard this show. They don't never listen to the radio. Generally, I would say they don't buy newspapers in volumes that we used to buy newspapers, and they certainly don't watch regular television. So the media as a whole has to somehow get those young people back from online or wherever it is they are.
The way that most big news organisations are trying to do that is actually go online in a big way themselves. The other thing that is happening, which is slightly encouraging, is the number of very commercially based organisations are finding that actually you can create a kind of content which younger people will go to. Now, they probably wouldn't call it news. They would probably regard it more as mini documentaries or features, as we call them. But actually, there is evidence that they will find this stuff. But you're right, it won't be at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or when your show's on.
You mean cat videos, don't you?
Well, no, I know you mean. I mean, there's been some amazing research recently that showed that YouTube was more used by young people than the BBC. Now, that's clearly a problem for the BBC.
Could we have more cat videos, you think, on BBC One?
I'm still sort of encouraged. But there was a moment when I was teaching young journalists and I asked them to watch BBC, ITN and Sky for a week so they could compare it. And I called them back in. I said, right, younger one at the front. You said, didn't watch any television news this week. And I said, oh, why is that? She said, I haven't got a television.
Wow.
So you think, well, you're a student of journalism and you haven't got a television, you don't watch television news, you're probably in the wrong place.
What about young people getting into journalism? What do they want to do? Do they want to vlog and blog? Do they want to work online? Do they want to get into newspapers, radio, television, or none of the above?
Well, there was a time when they all wanted to be foreign correspondents. I'm not so sure about that. Now, I think they all now want to do whatever is their passion, and that's the upside of all this. You can just do your own thing. I mean, on this trip I've just been, I took my phone with me. I have effectively shot what could be a documentary. So this has liberated people. In the old days, when I was the boss of ITN and my equivalent at the BBC, we decided what you guys watched, okay? That was it. There wasn't really any other way of doing it. Now, here am I, getting my phone out and going to the obscure countries and making videos. So I think that's a great thing, which young people actually understand that. And we should regard it as a good thing rather than the fact that they don't come to us in the way they used to as being a bad thing.
I suppose, in a way, you're an expert citizen of providing citizen news, as it were. Nowadays, we can call up, we can get online, we can deliver the news to the news outlet.
And why not, if you like? The only thing is that at big moments, people will normally go to the trusted news provider, the BBC's, the ITN's world. What incidents like yesterday's show is actually, they can be wrong as well.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a big event. Actually, the big news organisations have been made to look stupid by a sort of Eastern European country.
And what's the future of it all then? What do you see? I mean, television news is healthy and thriving, especially I noticed ITN now doing a conversational news.
Basically, what ITV News at 10 is trying to do, given that the BBC News at 10 has a bigger audience, is trying to do something slightly different. Different presenters do it in different ways, so you're not entirely sure what you're going to see when it comes up. TV news audiences are holding up, but the awfully embarrassing truth about TV news audiences, they are very old. They are very, very old. We're talking about 50s and 60s, 70s. Younger people, probably they never watch the news very much, but, you know, people in their 30s, as the sort of the digital generation gets older, they've grown up with this different way of consuming news and information.
So you might never get them.
I always used to say, there'll come a moment where they'll go and put their slippers on and sit in front of the television and watch the news. I'm not convinced necessarily now that will ever happen.
Yeah, I agree, because there's no habit of doing it back in the day, as they say. Listen, very nice to see you. Thanks very much for coming in, and do come in again and give us some of your insight. Stuart Purvis, CBE, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
gamble in the game of life. Yeah, 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 yeah. Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Yeah, 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 yeah. Monopoly 21, checkers and chess. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Fred Lassie in a breakfast mess. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's play Twister, let's play Risk. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll see you in heaven if you make the list. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis too, baby? Are we losing touch? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, then nothing is cool. Moses went walking with the staff of wood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Newton got mean by the apple wood. Yeah, 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 yeah. Egypt was troubled by the horrible asp. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Charles Darwin had the golden mask. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Hey, Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey, baby, are you having fun? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, nothing is cool. Here's a little edge for the never believer. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here's a little ghost for the offering. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here's a truck stop instead of St. Peter's. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Andy Kaufman's gone wrestling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Hey, Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey, baby, are we losing touch? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon.
Smashing song about Andy Kaufman, REM, Man in the Moon, 5 to 4. Say hello to Jim and his girls. Driving home from Somerset to Preston, looking forward to sleeping in their own bed after a week in a tent. Thank you, Steve. Oh, I bet. Steve, give me and my mum a shout out. Packed up from uni for the year. Yeah! On our way home. That's Annie and Mandy. Now here's Bobby. What you got?
Steve, thank you. First of all, the M8 eastbound at 27 for Arkleston. 2 lanes are shut following the accident there. M56 eastbound at 14 for Hapsford. On the exit slip road, there's an accident. You can just about squeeze past at the moment. A59 at Blubberhouses, west of Harrogate, closed between Hall Lane and Northmoor Road. And it's because of a risk of subsidence. I said it was closed just at Bolton Bridge, but they extended it, so there's a diversion via Ilkley and Otley. The M1 northbound, there's a breakdown, 29A to 30, northbound to Worksop. M1 southbound, the stranded vehicle, a breakdown, 25 to 24A. That's gone, but it's still queuing. And the M1 southbound, we've still got stationary traffic between 12 and 11A, and that's following an earlier accident they're waiting to clear. M25, clockwise accident, 12 to 13. Traffic's now moving between the M3 and Staines, but the queue's about to 10 at the A3. And then anti-clockwise, 10 to 9. We've still got one lane shut at Leatherhead. And finally, M5 north northbound at Bristol, stop-start, busy traffic, 19 Portishead to 16 at Aztec West. Back with another one in half an hour.
Thank you.
88 to 91 FM, BBC Radio 2.
It's Mr. Bennett here. I've just bought a pair of pants made by Calvin Harris.
He came from somewhere back in her long ago. The sentimental fool don't see, trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, she musters a smile for his nostalgic tale. Never coming near what he wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know. He's watching her go. What a fool believes he sees. The wise man has the power to reason away what seems to be. It's always better than nothing, and nothing at all. Keep sending him somewhere back in long ago, where he can still believe there's a place in her life. Someday, somewhere, she will return. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know.
What a fool believes.
He's watching her go.
Right here on Radio 2, that's the Doobie Brothers. Coming up in the Showbiz Cuts, we've got Grimmy, we've got Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. We've got Janie, Bobby, Mike and Tim and Shabnan on sport. There's guests Zeb and James and Alex Gregory and more on Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Steve Wright in the afternoon. Great
And this is BBC Radio 2, online on digital radio and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 4 o'clock. This is Mike Powell. The US has announced it's going ahead with tariffs on steel and aluminium imports from the European Union, Canada and Mexico. The British government has said it's deeply disappointed by the decision and the UK and other EU countries should be exempted from the move. The President of the European Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker, said it was a bad day for world trade and that the EU would announce countermeasures in the next few hours. Our correspondent in New York, Kim Gittleson, says President Trump is trying to appeal to his core supporters.
It sends a message that the Trump administration is still going hard on its protectionist trade policy. The question, of course, is where to go from here, because the reason these tariffs were imposed was under the guise of national security. The Trump administration had said that because the steel and aluminum industries were suffering here in the United States as a result of cheap imported steel, they needed to do something to help those domestic industries.
Well, President Trump has also announced that talks in New York between his Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, and North Korean officials have been very positive, and he's expecting a letter from Kim Jong-un tomorrow. There have been further meetings in Singapore and the Korean Peninsula to try to revive Mr. Trump's planned summit with the North Korean leader in 12 days' time. The owner of Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich, has suspended plans to redevelop Stamford Bridge because the Russian billionaire hasn't managed to renew his UK visa. The BBC understands that Mr. Abramovich does not want to invest £1 billion in a country where he's currently not allowed to work. Consumer groups have welcomed moves by the financial watchdog to curb excessive credit interest charges, but say they should go further. The Financial Conduct Authority wants to cap the repayments demanded by firms that provide services such as electrical appliances on credit. Gemma Mills got a fridge freezer for £229 from a rent-to-own company and ended up paying more than double in interest.
It's a hard one, to be honest, because obviously when you've got children or you're in a position where the only place you can go is the high interest places, then if you've got an emergency and you need an appliance, you are going to turn to the high interest companies.
A Russian journalist who faked his own death in Ukraine has said he used pig's blood and the services of a makeup artist to pull off the stunt. Arkady Babchenko worked with the Ukrainian security services to stage the apparent murder. Ukraine says it was part of an operation to expose Russian agents. And the script for one of British television's best-loved sketches is going up for sale.
4 candles. Well, there you are, 4 candles. No, 4 candles. Handles for forks.
That, of course, is the two Ronnies getting confused about fork handles. Its original script, written by Ronnie Barker, is expected to sell for up to £40,000 at auction in Bristol tomorrow. BBC News at 4:03. Our next at 5.
Thanks, Mike.
Everyone knows all about my direction, and in my heart somewhere I wanna go there, still I don't go there. Everybody says say something, say something, say something, say something, say something, say something. I don't wanna get caught up in the rhythm of it, but I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No, no. Caught up in the middle of it. No, I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No, no, no. Caught up in the rhythm of it. Maybe I'm looking for something I can't have. Looking for something I can't have. Maybe I'm looking for something I can't have.
Everyone knows all about my transgression. Still in my heart somewhere, there's melody and harmony for you and me tonight. I hear them call my name. Everybody says say something, say something, say something, say something, say something, say something. I don't wanna get caught up in the rhythm of it, but I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No, no. Caught up in the middle of it. No, I can't help myself. No, I can't help myself. No, no, no. Caught
6:08 in the United Kingdom. This is Radio 2. It's Steve Wright in the afternoon. There's Justin Timberlake, JT and Chris Stapleton. Say Summit. In the social media, hashtag National Smile Day is trending on Twitter. Judith tweets, always wear your smile because your smile is the reason for many others to smile. Happy National Smile Day. Jack tweets, nothing is better than to smile for no apparent reason and scare everyone around you. Over on Facebook, people are talking about the BBC prepping 2 technical trials for the upcoming World Cup. They'll show matches live in virtual reality as well as in 4K Ultra HD with dynamic range. Oh my goodness, that sounds great. More than $2 million has been raised on a crowdfunding site for a new retro Atari console. The pre-orders for the Atari VCS were way in excess of the $100,000 the company was aiming for. And the BBC has announced details of a special panorama about Tessa Jowell, who died earlier this month after being diagnosed with brain cancer last year. It follows Dame Tessa in her final days as she fought a campaign to improve care for cancer patients in the UK. Tessa Jowell, her last campaign, is on BBC One at 7:30 this coming Monday. As you heard earlier, Nick Grimshaw announced this morning that he's stepping down from presenting the Radio 1 breakfast show after 6 years. He'll swap shows with Greg James, and here's Grimmy explaining why.
I'm really tired. Like, so tired. Like, you've no idea. So, come September, I will have been doing it for 6 years, and I've decided that it's time for a change. It's going to be time for a new show, and most importantly, it's going to be time for a new wake-up time, preferably at 11:30. 11:30, little dog walk.
Sounds lovely.
Oh, maybe a bit of lunch. And I've loved doing the breakfast show, but I'm not going to do it anymore. And the breakfast show is one of those jobs that it's not a forever job. You never start it thinking, I'll do this till I'm 90. Like, I thought I'd do it 2 years, not 6 years.
Thank you, Grimmy. Good luck. The stars of the upcoming Jurassic World sequel, Fallen Kingdom, are travelling the world on their promo tour, and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard have been in Shanghai. Chris plays Owen Grady, a former dinosaur trainer who has a special bond with a velociraptor called Blue. Here he is. This is going to be Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
It is like a parent to a child, that relationship, and we all knew going into this movie that if we couldn't sell a very honest relationship between a person and a dinosaur and create some emotion there, that element of the movie wouldn't work, and that's such an important element of the movie that was really imperative we make that work.
Just a little bit serious there, Chris. It's only a dinosaur movie. It's only pretend. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is directed by J.A. Bayona and Bryce Dallas Howard. I beg your pardon, is back with Claire Dearing, who ran the dinosaur park in the last film. Here's Bryce talking about filming with dinosaurs, which obviously weren't really there.
What J.A. does is in using music and, yes, occasionally scaring us as well with dinosaur noises, is that he makes it feel real. So what you're seeing when you're watching the movie is a real, honest reaction, something that we couldn't manufacture in our brains, and that's always the most effective. So it definitely makes a huge difference.
Brilliant. Now, I don't know if you like rowing, know of rowing, or know of Alex Gregory. We're going to talk to him next on The Big Show.
I am Jeremiah Dixon, I am a Geordie boy. Glass of wine with you, sir, and the ladies I'll enjoy. Old Durham and Northumberland is measured up by my own hand. It was my fate from birth to make my mark upon the earth. He calls me Charlie Mason, a stargazer am I. It seems that I was born to chart the evening sky. They'd cut me out for baking bread, but I had other dreams instead. This baker's boy from the West Country would join the Royal Society. We are sailing to Philadelphia, a world away from the coldy tide. Sailing to Philadelphia to draw the line. Now you're a good surveyor, Dixon, but I swear you'll make me mad. The West will kill us both, you gullible Geordie lad. You talk of liberty, how can America be free? A Geordie and a baker's boy in the forests of the Iroquois.
Now hold your head up, Mason, see America lies there. The morning tide has raised the capes of Delaware. Come up and feel the sun, a new morning is begun. Another day will make it clear why your star should guide us here. We are sailing to Philadelphia, a world away from the coaly tide. Sailing to Philadelphia to draw the line. The Mason-Dixon line, the Mason-Dixon line.
Got a tweet here, it says, can I get a shout out for Eddie Sheed in Plumstead, who's currently trying his best to put up a wardrobe? That is a nightmare, isn't it? There's Mark Knopfler, James Taylor, sailing to Philadelphia. Steve, travelling to France to cycle the big mountain stages of the Tour de France. Music fabulous. This is Susie, Richard, Bill, and Lottie the dog. Thank you very much.
It's pioneering, it's witty, irreverent, insightful. It's all about the groove, the rhythm, and the poetry. Welcome to the Blues Show.
The Keris Matthews Blues Show.
Play that for Barbara Rhodes. She's called her 82-year-old mum up in Scotland to tell her about the new show.
She loves blues and boogie woogie and is a huge Tom Jones fan.
What's it feel like? Because some of us are not blessed with a voice like yours, Tom.
It's a tremendous feeling. You know, you can express yourself.
The Keris Matthews Blues Show.
It's just such a pleasure to come here and share some of the best recordings ever made.
Monday nights from 8
on BBC Radio 2.
And now we're back for some more factoids. Here's Janie.
The last animal in the dictionary is the... I can't say it, so I'm going to spell it.
Zedonk.
Well, close. It's Z-Y-Z-Z-Y-V-A, and it's a tropical American weevil.
Weevil.
You try saying it.
No, I can't. Here's Tim.
The population of the Earth, that's the human population, inhales more than 6 billion tonnes of oxygen every single year.
And back to Janie.
The Australian billy goat plum contains 100 times more vitamin C than an orange.
And Tim.
I've got some famous inventions and their inventors. The Ferris wheel was invented by George Ferris. The diesel engine by Rudolf Diesel. Oh, you'll like this. The Bunsen burner by Robert Bunsen.
Great.
The Braille system of reading, Louis Braille. And the beef stroganoff by Count Stroganoff.
There was an actual Count Stroganoff.
Factoids.
taught me how to fly. Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Can you say thank you, please, Steve and team, to my family for a wonderful day at Knowlesley Safari Park for my birthday? That's from Leslie, wearing giraffe ears at 45. Look who's on with us now.
With guys like this in it, very, very hard to come back here now. And Andy Hodge in the stroke C, George Nash in the 3C, Mo Sahibi in the 2C, Alex Gregory up in bows. They'll enjoy the paddling from here.
We got Alex Gregory here, and let me just tell you about Alex. Alex MBE is a 5-time world champion and 2-time Olympic gold medalist in rowing, who recently retired after 16 years of competing. But he's keeping busy and has just published his book, Dad Ventures, Amazing Outdoor Activities for Daring Dads and Fearless Kids. And it's full of drawings that his children have done, and it's fantastic. We'll talk about it in just a moment. First of all, do you miss rowing?
I don't miss rowing. I do miss elements of it. I miss being a part of a team, a part of a group, a part of mates. 17 years with a load of mates doing something we love.
Is there a point where your upper back and your arms stop aching?
No. That never happens. It always hurts.
It always hurts, really. I mean, when you're in training and when you're rowing, up there is a bit of pain?
Well, it's supposed to be in the legs, really. The arms are just a connection to the power of the legs.
They're doing all the work, though, the arms, aren't they?
No. It's the
when
legs.
you've been doing it as long as he has, it's going to stop hurting at some point because your muscles get used to it.
No, because you're always pushing for more. You're always trying to get stronger and fitter and better and harder.
Okay, so you're definitely retired.
Definitely
you don't
retired.
miss it, and when the next Olympics come around on the horizon, you're not going to have second thoughts like other rowers have.
Absolutely. Naming no names.
Just a very grave.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now tell us about this book. It's called Dad Ventures, which is a play on words, obviously. Amazing Outdoor Adventures for Daring Dads and Fearless Kids. So why did you write this? And tell us about some of the stuff in there.
I wrote the book because it's what I'm really passionate about, getting my kids outdoors, being outdoors with my kids. It's what I grew up doing. My parents took me outside, my grandparents. I talk a lot about my grandparents in this book because they had a huge influence on me and what I like to do. It's called Dad Ventures, but it's not just for dads. It's for anyone who wants to get outside with their kids.
I think you'll find it's entirely for dads.
And granddads.
And granddads, because they need to be in charge. You can't have the kids in charge of some of these things that you're talking about here.
The interesting thing, though, is that in terms of timing, I mean, this is now. We need to get kids outdoors because so many of them are just stuck on their mobile phones that actually the stuff you're writing about is almost forgotten.
That's absolutely true. When my daughter was 2, she'd wake up early. 4:30 in the morning she'd wake up and ask to watch our phone, watch Peppa Pig on our phone. And I realised then that we had fallen into that trap.
Yeah.
She had become addicted to the screen. And I'm not advocating a complete removal of screens. I think young people need to be able to navigate that world, but I think you can balance it up with some time outside.
They also need to climb a beanstalk, which is one of the things in the book.
I know. I saw that. There's a giant at the top there, you know. But interestingly enough, these are not complicated things. Collect and cook some dinner. Sunrise moments and sunset chats. I mean, that's not difficult to do. Cloud spotting. Climb a beanstalk, maybe a bit more difficult. Make string. I mean, now you're getting to some more practical stuff. Make an insect aspirator. My goodness, that looks interesting. Tell me about that.
Well, all these things are designed to be able to do anywhere. So you don't just have to live in the country to do it. You can do it on a balcony or in your garden or in the street, in a park, in the middle of a city. An insect aspirator is a really fun thing to do. So it's quite a practical thing. You just get a little pot, you put a few tubes in.
Well, wait, we're going too fast. Okay, you've got a jar there, right? Yeah, like a little small jam jar or something like that.
Perfect.
Right, and then you've done a couple of holes in the lid, right?
Exactly.
And then you've got some tubing in there, and the tubing goes down to where the insect is. Insect sucks through this tube. Oh, is sucked through this tube. I do beg your pardon.
Please, can you read the instructions? Otherwise, you're going to be in all kinds of trouble.
I don't normally read instructions.
So also, about this book, these instructions, there are instructions, but the whole point of it is that nothing has to be perfect. It's about spending time together outside. And if you don't finish your insect aspirator, it doesn't matter.
No.
You've gone looking for insects, you've probably put some in the jar anyway, and you've had a bit of quality time outdoors
And it's also,
together.
I presume, about getting the kids to show initiative and imagination and doing it their way, I suppose. That's important, isn't it?
Absolutely. And if you as a parent can guide them outside and help them notice things, then they start to care about these things. I've noticed my kids, they're starting to care about the birds and the trees because I'm constantly being that annoying dad. Look at that. What's that? What's that? What's that?
Yeah.
And they'll get annoyed with it. But they'll notice. And when they're 20, 30, they'll appreciate those things.
Oh, my kids are 23 and 30, so I can't take them out and do some of this?
Please do. It's even better.
Even better when they're grown up.
Absolutely.
I love the illustrations as well.
I was just about to say,
I love the illustrations.
That's an inspired idea.
I love Our Family Wild Swimming by Daisy. That's a wonderful illustration.
Yeah, we had fun drawing those.
And that's your kids have done that.
Yeah, Daisy and Jasper.
I think it's great. Alex Gregory's book, Dad Ventures, is out today in hardback. Fantastic to meet you. And there's some lovely stuff in there, and we can relate to this utterly and completely. So keep doing it. And good luck. We'll see you again.
Thank you very much.
It's Alex Gregory, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Kind that lasts forevermore, so you thought it would. Suddenly the things you see got you hurt so bad, so bad. How come the things that make us happy make us sad? Ooh, sing to me that joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Love can be bitter. Love can be sweet. Sometimes devotion and sometimes deceit. The ones that you care for give you so much pain. Oh, but it's alright. They're both one in the Don't it seem we go through life going up and down? Seem the things that turn you on can turn you around. Always hurting each other. If it ain't one thing, it's another. When the world is down on you, love somewhere around. And I want you to know that do it one more time. Sunshine and rain, joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Sing along with me, children.
Joy and pain. Yes, Maze, Frankie Beverly. I love it.
Sunshine and
You are
rain.
less than 24 hours away, by the way, for Serious Jockin'. That comes up at 4:15 tomorrow. That's Serious Jockin' with no G.
Hear her.
I think things have got better, but it still looks like there's a long way to go. Feminism goes all the way up the spectrum. It needs to be in every single workplace, regardless of where you work. Are you angry? I am angry. I'm frustrated. I think if you're not angry about it, then you're not really passionate about it and you don't really want it to change.
Hear her. A season of women's voices across the BBC.
To find out more, go to bbc.co.uk/hearher.
Thank you. And next half an hour, this guy's going to be with us.
North Utsira, variable 3 or less, fair, good. South Utsira, southeasterly 3 or 4, occasionally 5 at first, fair, good. 40s, variable 2 or 3. Thundery showers, fog banks.
From Radio
moderate
4.
to very poor.
He does a shipping forecast
From
and so many
T4,
other things.
Southeast 3 or 4.
Zeb Soames in the next half hour. Now here's Bobby.
Thank you, Steve. The M8 eastbound. The accident at 27 for Arkleston. They are clearing that. Still congestion way past 28A now. The M53 northbound. Now, there was an accident earlier. They've cleared it between 5 and 4, Eastham to Bebington, but they've left a lane closed for barrier repairs. So that's still slow, and that's going to get slower through this afternoon. M56 eastbound. Accident at 14 for Hapsford on the exit Slit Road. That's now gone, but it's still very heavy. M6 southbound. There was a breakdown over an hour ago from 20 to 19. So from Lymm to Knutsford, although all lanes are open, you've still got some busy traffic through that stretch. And to the M6 southbound, the breakdown at 2 for Coventry, that has now cleared to the M69. And the latest on the A59. Now at Blubberhouses, west of Harrogate, the A59 is closed again because fear of a landslide between Hall Lane and North Moor Road. So diversion via Otley and Ilkley. So that's not going to change today. The A15 at Waddingham is still closed with the accident between the B1205 turns. So that's the 2 turns for that. And then the A64 westbound at Barton and Willows, east of York, still blocked with the accident between Steermore Lane and Scotchmore Lane. The A50, now there was an accident at the M1. They're still clearing that up at junction 24A, so it was affecting all routes on the roundabout. The M1 on the southbound side, down at junction 12, we had an accident which is cleared out of the way. It's left big queues northbound, so if you're heading up from the M25, once you get to 7, it really does slow up through there, although the accident has gone. And the M25 clockwise is queuing from 10 the A3. There was an accident before 13 Staines, which is gone, but that congestion continues around to the M40 at 16. Anti-clockwise, busy from 15 around to 11 at Chertsey. There was debris on the carriageway between 10 and 9, so it's slow towards Leatherhead as well. And finally, M5 queues northbound, 19 to 16, Portishead to Aztec West. It is stop-start busier than normal. Back with another one in 25 minutes.
Yes, thank you much, Lee.
Hi, this is Jeremy Vine. Here's our big subject for today. Does your husband think he's a dolphin? Is he constantly making noises like that and bolting down herring? And does he have a bottle nose? Has he booked half a dozen holidays at SeaWorld? Does he know the Flipper theme by heart? They call it Flipper. If that sounds like your husband or boyfriend, just a second, Flipper. Make contact at cleanbandit, stillfresh.org.co.mabel is excellent. Let's leave out the Brexit talk. You bubbleheaded mini.co.uk. Now you're in deep do.co.uk.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. It is a special one, it's never seen the sun. It only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. It's growing in the street, right up through the concrete, but soft and sweet and rainy. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. Cold, then looks down in my soul and starts a fire there, and then I lose control. I have to beg your pardon. I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in my garden. I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows
in my garden. Benny King. La 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 la. Spanish Harlem. Here we are returning for factoids. Look, it's Tim Smith, everyone.
Ellipsoidal joints, such as the one at the base of the index finger, allows us to bend and extend. Without those joints, the hand wouldn't be as functional as it is. Ellipsoidal joints.
I like the sound of that. Turnips? You like turnips?
No, I hate turnips.
They're okay. I prefer a Swede.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you go to a restaurant, they put a turnip instead of a potato.
Yeah.
You taste it and you think, that's bitter, isn't it, really?
Well, it depends how they're cooked, doesn't it? If you roast them and maybe put, I don't know, honey on them or something, they're nice.
Yeah. Turnips are high in fibre, vitamin C, calcium and potassium. They're amazingly good for you.
The heel of a sock is called the gore.
I got a heel of a sock in my...
Oh, talking of that, how's your shoes today? You've got a pair of slip-on kind of canvas deck shoes that have seen better days.
Yes.
There's a tear on the top of one of them, and what you've done, for anybody who didn't hear you explain this, is you stuck a little bit of an old pair of underpants using super glue inside the shoe to kind of shore it up. A bit like, repairing a burst tyre.
Oh, well, make do amend.
Yeah, and I've had to reinforce it now with sock, and it's fallen apart, in fact.
Factoids. BBC Music presents The Biggest Weekend.
Yeah, here comes another reminder of all the great performances across BBC Music's Biggest Weekend. It was 4 days of incredible live music, and it's all available to watch on the BBC iPlayer. Paloma Faith was on the lineup for Radio 2 in Coventry, and here she is now doing Changing. Beautiful. Paloma Faith live. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we've got Zeb Soanes and James Mayhew here. I'm going to tell you about Zeb first of all. He's known to millions for his work over on Radio 4, where he's a continuity announcer, a newsreader with that lovely voice, and of course a regular voice of the shipping forecast as well. I'd like to do that one time.
Yeah. You can do it with pleasure.
No.
I'll take a day off.
No. I never know how you get the timing right up to 12 or whatever it is.
You back time it. So I've got little notes in the margin. I just know exactly where I need to be.
He's also an actor and does voiceover work and narrations, but over the past year, Zeb's also got a bit sidetracked by an urban fox that lives in North London, where he lives. Now, with Zeb today is James. Can you tell me who James is, Zeb?
James is my illustrator, and the amazing thing is we're from the same hometown, same high school, but we didn't meet until we worked on this book. There's about 10 years between us? 12.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome, by the way. Round of applause, I think, for James. My goodness.
Thank you very much.
OK, now, here it is. The fox that you have seen for a number of months, if not years.
About a year and a half. I came home from work one day and there was a fox with a bad leg, and we gave it a little bit of food and it got better over the course of a couple of weeks, and then just returned every day and still visits almost every day, and is the most beautiful, enchanting looking animal. And so I started taking pictures on my phone and it just took off.
He lives around and about, right?
Yeah, just behind my flat.
What, does he live in like a foxhole?
It'll be a den, I imagine. Probably under a shed is quite common.
OK, now, what's his personality like? He's nice, is he?
Well, I have to say, when Gaspard first started to visit...
I'm sorry, that's his name?
Yeah, Gaspard.
Right,
OK. He's a French fox, obviously.
Of course he is, yeah.
We gave him a French name. And I say him because when he first visited, we assumed that he was a boy, very handsome-looking creature. And then almost a year later, Gaspard brought her cubs to visit, so came to the front door and there were 4 little cubs running around and she was looking pleased as anything. But when I wrote the story, Gaspard was a boy.
But you think he might be French?
Yeah.
Would he have some red wine with him?
Well, he likes cave-aged Parmesan, I can tell you that. Being an Islington fox.
Of course.
But I found in the course of kind of researching the book and finding more about foxes that most foxes in the south of England have French DNA, because when they were hunted hundreds of years ago, we went a bit too far and we had to bring some over from France. So most of our foxes actually have French blood.
But the whole concept of an urban fox is relatively recent, isn't it? It's only in recent years we've been seeing them living amongst us.
You didn't see them in the centre of London till the 50s, and it was when we started to build out into Metroland that they started coming into garden sheds, and then they crept closer to the centre.
So how have you described the fox to James? Because James has depicted this fox in this book that we're about to tell you about. So you have to kind of transfer his personality, I guess, to the drawing.
Well, it's a nervous thing when you kind of hand over something that's existed in your head to someone else to visualise it. But we talked about the books that we loved as children.
Absolutely. We talked about the type of illustration that we grew up with and the techniques that illustrators used in that period. And we also had dinner one evening, didn't we, at yours, and waited for foxes to appear.
We waited a long time.
We did. We watched
so Spring Watch
movies that night, didn't we?
It was, no, we watched Carry On Doctor while we waited.
Yes.
For Gaspard
too much
to
information. Yeah, well, we're going to come back with Zeb Soanes and James Mayhew in just a moment. Right back.
Boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves aloud, the ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On my wall the colors of the maps are running. From Africa the winds they talk of change is coming. The torches flare up in the night, the hand that sets the arms alight to spread the word to those who are waiting on the border. In the village where I grew up, nothing seems the same. Still you never see the change from day to day. No one notices the customs slip away. Last night the rain was knocking on my window. I moved across the darkened room and in the lamp glow I thought I saw down in the street the spirit of the century, telling us that we're all standing on the border. In the islands where I grew up, nothing seems the same. It's just the patterns that remain, an empty shell. But there's a strangeness in the air you feel too well. The fishing boats go out across the evening water, smuggling guns and arms across the Spanish border. The wind whips up the waves so loud, the ghost moon sails among the clouds, turns the rifles into silver on the border. On the border. On the border.
Zebsones and James Mayhew are back with us, talking about their children's book. It's called Gaspard the Fox. And just before we look at the book in detail, I've got a few dates to mention here where you can meet Zeb and James over the summer. Tomorrow, Friday, June 1st, there's 3 which are all in London. Zeb and James will be at Hatchard's in Piccadilly, London, and then Waterstones in Covent Garden and Waterstones in Islington. Thursday, 21st of June, Letchworth Festival. Friday, 24th of August, Edinburgh International Book Festival. Sunday, 2nd of September, Angel Canal Festival in London. Saturday, 6th of October, Bath Children's Literature Festival, and Sunday 7th of October at the Cheltenham Literary Festival. Do check the internet for details. Now, looking at the book, which is called, as I mentioned, Gaspard the Fox, James, you illustrated it. What kind of style have you done this in then?
Well, it was a process to reach the conclusion to make the style, and I found it incredibly hard to illustrate the real fox, because I could do a fox, a generic fox, but that fox is so beautiful and quite mercurial. It's almost like a shapeshifter. Sometimes she's long and elegant, sometimes she curls up small. She appears beside you like a sort of smudge of colour in the twilight. It's quite magical, but it's very hard to distinguish her shape and be very accurate about it. And then I finally realised I don't need to be accurate in a photographic way. I'm illustrating.
Yeah.
So I relaxed a little bit, and I drew hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of foxes and saw my studio when I was in the midst of it and saw how many hundreds of foxes were papering the walls.
But also finding the exact colour was quite difficult, wasn't it?
That was really key, and I had to mix my own Gaspar red ink, which I used throughout the book to keep it consistent and also give me that as a foundation, because I realised that drawing with an outline and then colouring it in, which is the sort of usual process, wasn't going to work. So I started with the colour and then drew around that.
That must be quite difficult to reproduce him on dozens of pages.
Being consistent is very difficult, particularly if you're not working digitally. If you're working digitally, then you can reproduce things quite easily with a click of a button.
Which you're clearly not, though.
But I'm not. No, everything's done with traditional pen and ink and watercolour.
And that's why it's brilliant, by the way.
Well,
Thank you.
I don't know
But
about
that was the case in the books that we loved growing up, wasn't it?
Exactly.
So how human-friendly is Gaspard?
She's comfortable with me. She actually knows the sound of my bicycle. They've got incredible hearing. Apparently they can hear a watch ticking at 40 metres. And if Gaspard is out the back of the garages and I open the kitchen window and call her, she will come round to the front of the block of flats.
So do you leave Radio 4 on at home?
She's a big fan of Through the Night on Radio 3, actually.
Is she?
She is. She is.
No, I was going to say, if you're on doing something on
I
Radio 4...
should, yes.
Yeah.
Right, she doesn't so much as arrive as appear. I've got one of those folding bicycles and I'm kind of twisting and clicking it, and I'll turn and she's just there at my heels watching. And then we'll just sit and hang out.
It's an incredible story, and tell us in the book what happens, or go a little way through the tale, without giving too much away.
No, Gaspar's very hungry and pops out to get something to eat early evening in the summer and meets a very superior cat on a wall who tells her there's been a canal festival that day and he might find some food along the towpath. Basically, it was Kenneth Williams in my mind when I wrote it. He uses very long words.
You have no idea how hard it is to illustrate a cat with flaring nostrils.
Yes. And so then Gaspar runs along the canal and is spotted by some humans, runs into a bin, gets covered with ash, and then, because Gaspar looks like a dirty dog, is able to pass through the humans, makes friends with a little dog, and then falls into the canal.
And this would be for adults and children alike, or is it a kids' book?
I didn't write it for any age in particular. I mean, it says 4+ on it, but I think the language is challenging in a good way.
It's a sophisticated story, and I don't think that Zeb has dumbed down, which I think is one of the things that attracted me to the text.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's got long words in it. I like the fact that children will be wondering what these words mean, and they'll go off and find out.
Yeah. James, good to meet you. And Zeb, nice to see you again. Gaspar the Fox, written by Zeb Soanes and illustrated by James Mayhew, is out right now. And it's Zeb and James, everybody. Thank you very much.
Diplomatic plans ravaged by time. It never really was the truth or lies. We just gave up and said our goodbyes. So hold me like a
From the nets on iforfilm.co.uk, that says Lifetime Achievement Award for George Clooney. Absolutely, why not? Julia Roberts will present George with the honour from the American Film Institute in a special ceremony on the 7th of June. HollywoodReporter.com says Tom Cruise confirms filming has begun on Top Gun 2. Could that be a mistake? I don't know. ContactMusic.net says Vin Diesel honoured with PhD from Hunters College. Really? Good one, Vin. 5 to 5, here's Bobby.
Thank you, Steve. First of all, to the M8 on the eastbound side. The accident at Arkleston, junction 27, has gone. All lanes open. However, so much congestion because of this. Give yourself an hour, they're saying. Surrounding routes, absolutely gridlocked because of that. M53 northbound, still 5 to 4 up towards Bebbington. We've got one lane shut for barrier repairs causing queues. The M6 now southbound, big queues if you're heading from 20 down to 17. There was a breakdown at 19 earlier. All that congestion's moving through. It is very heavy, but all lanes have reopened. M62 westbound, 12 to 11 for Birchwood. We had an accident there as well. All lanes are open, so a little bit of good news, but it's still heavy. M6 northbound, 6 to 7 at Great Bar. We've got a breakdown causing queues. One lane is shut. The M42 on the northbound side, 6 to 7. So from Birmingham Airport to the M6, we've got an accident. That's causing queues almost back to the M40. And the M40 is queuing for a couple of miles, queuing towards the M42. And then finally, the M11 southbound. There's a breakdown, 9 to 8, down towards Bishop Stortford. One lane is shut. Big queue behind it. I'll have more for you in half an hour.
Thank you, you smasher. That very nearly worked. Here's our final tune. Kiss Me, Sixpence None the Richer.
Kiss me out of the bearded barley nightly, beside the green, green grass. Swing, swing, swing the spinning step. You wear those shoes and I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open head, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken tree house. Swing me up on its hanging tire. Bring your flowered hat. We'll take the trail marked on your father's map. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open head, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. Kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open head, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling. So kiss me. So kiss me. So kiss me. So kiss me.
Look, everybody, he's lost his closer and he can't find it. Bless him. That was Sixpence None the Richer and Kiss Me. We've got to go. It's Joe and Simon with Ross Noble to follow. We return tomorrow with Josh Groban and Serious Jocking. Good evening.